Hello there, Dunlap Fluties. So welcome to week number 8 of our flute lesson series. And I want to tell you all that, you all are doing well with those videos. Thanks for getting those turned in. I know that some of these songs recently have been a little more difficult, but you all are doing very well with those. Now, with that being said, I know that last week I gave you a rather difficult song to practice in Lightly Row down at the bottom of page 7. So we are going to begin this week by going ahead and reviewing that song. Some of you may have mastered that song already, but I'm going to give that one another week's practice. So let's go ahead and we'll do a play along video of Lightly Row. And I want you to go ahead and try and play along with me and focus on just staying with me as we play through the song. Okay, so here is Lightly Row here. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so hopefully at this point you all are masters at Lightly Row. If not, keep practicing it. Like I said, I know it's a longer song and more difficult, so just keep up the practicing. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at page 8 and a couple new songs for you. And the first thing you'll notice on the top of page 8 is that there is a new note up there. Let's get that up here. All right, you can see that there's the note and the fingering. This note is G. You'll notice that it is above the top line of our music staff. All right, you got the top line and it sits directly above it. Now, the thing about our music staff is as the notes move higher on the music staff, the sound moves higher. So this is the highest note we know so far. Okay, and what you'll notice if you look at the fingering diagram is that the fingering is very, very similar to F. Okay. We are going to put our thumb down, and for the time being, we're always going to place our thumb there, even though the fingering chart here says differently, okay? When we get to notes where we need to move that thumb, I will let you know. Okay, point your finger against the side of our flute, curl around, press that first key, or the second key on our flute. We skip one, put our ring finger, middle finger down. Sorry, gosh, I can't talk today. And then we're going to put our ring finger down. The only difference between this note and F is F uses our pointer finger here, G does not. We are going to have our pinky down, okay? So it looks like this, all right? Since this G is a higher sound, we are going to want to move our air faster. The sound that we're shooting for on this G is this. Go ahead and try that G, okay? So put those fingers down, thumb first, second, third, pinky, okay? And let's play it together. We're going to shoot for that higher sound. Ready? Go. Okay, you may find that you're getting this sound. if that is the case, that is a G, the note G, but it's a lower one. So here's what we need to do. We're going to stick our bottom lip out a little bit, almost like you're going to pout, just a little bit, okay? We're going to blow our air faster. And more, we're going to pretend like we're trying to aim it up towards the ceiling. So I stick my bottom lip out, a little faster air, and you should get that sound, okay? If you're having a little trouble with that, practice just playing that note and moving that air faster and sticking that bottom lip out until you are able to get that higher sound, okay? Now we're going to take a look at a song that uses that G. So let's get number 27, Reaching Higher, up here. Right, there it is. So if you look at it, you notice that we start on an E flat. We know that note, and it's an E flat because those two flat signs at the beginning, we talked about this last week, are key signature. Whenever we have those two flat signs there, they're telling us that the B is flat and every E is flat. So it starts with an E flat, moves to an F. The third note is G. Okay, so we are going to get some practice on those G's. The other thing I want you to notice is if you look at the very, very end of the song, above the last note, there is that thing that looks like a half circle with a dot underneath it. That is labeled as a fermata. And a fermata simply means to hold that note or rest longer than normal. Now, there's no hard and fast rule as to how long that note needs to be. It just needs to be longer than normal. So this last note is a whole note, normally getting 4 beats. Now, I'm going to go ahead and define it today. Generally, we would just play it longer than 4. Today, we are going to play that note for 6 beats and then stop. Okay, just so that we can play this together, okay? So let's go ahead and try a play along with number 27, Reaching Higher. Now, you may not get this the first time you try with me. That's okay. Come back once you've practiced it some, and then try and play it along with me, okay? So let me get my metronome started. You're going to get your fingers on E flat, that first note, and we are going to play number 27 together. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Notice how, since that last note had a fermata on it, we held it out for 6 beats. Now, again, if you're playing it on your own, you can decide how long that is. It just needs to be longer than 4. All right?
And now for something completely different.
All right, let's move along. We're going to move along to number 28, Au Clair de la Lune. Let's get that up here. Cool. So let's take a brief look at this. It's going to be fairly easy to learn. It only uses 3 notes for you. If you look through, the only 3 letters that you're going to see in there are E flat, F, and G. Now we are going to practice that new G that we know, okay? But those are the only 3 letters we have. The other thing that's going to make this easy for you to practice is compare up here the first 4 measures of the song to the last 4 measures of the song. Notice that they're exactly the same, okay? So if you can play the first half of the song, you can play the second half. So when you're practicing, you don't always have to play through the whole song. In fact, this is how I approach practicing. I always look for parts of the song that are similar or the same and practice one of those sections until I get it, and then I know I can play that other section later. Here, if you can play the first 4 measures, you can play the second 4 measures. The last 4 measures, okay? So in your practice time, you're going to spend some time practicing those first 4, okay? Then try the whole song, okay? We're going to go ahead and do a play along on this one. And again, I know that you may not get it the first time. You probably won't. That's okay, all right? Just practice it, on your own, and then come back to our video and practice playing along with me, because it is important for us to play together as well, because one of the skills we want to work on once we've mastered these songs is playing with other people. So once you've gotten comfortable with the song, I do want you to go ahead and come back and practice it with me as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and play number 28, Au Clair de la Lune. Fingers on E flat, since that's our first note. And here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, how did we do? Hopefully we're doing fairly well with that one. All right, so this week in your Flipgrid video, I want you to record 3 songs for me. I want you to record Lightly Row, number 25 in your book, number 27, Reaching Higher, and number 28, Au Clair de la Lune. As always, if you get really comfortable with these songs and, a couple days into the week, you're like, oh, Mr. Colgan, I know these songs already. I want to do something different. That's fine. Don't move on until you can play these songs. But if you can play these songs and you're like, you want something a little more challenging, go ahead and move on. Take a look at London Bridge and Mozart Melody. You can check those out, all right, if you get to that point. But don't move on to those until you've learned these other songs, okay? Because we are going to do next week London Bridge and Mozart Melody, okay? But for this week on your Flipgrid, remember, record number 25, Lightly Row, number 27, Reaching Higher, and number 28, Au Clair de la Lune. All right, keep practicing, guys. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing your videos.